you guys probably will have seen in this vlog, I finished the tiger painting that I've been working on since last semester. That took forever. One, it was the biggest painting I've ever done. And two, while I was working on that painting, I went to Hong Kong. I also went away for like the semester break. I went to Russia. Like, it just feels like it's been so long in the making for for as long as like on a calendar looking at it, like maybe a couple dozen hours of work, it like feels, I don't know, feels like it's been dragging on. So I'm glad that that's pretty much like done. Yeah, so this weekend I have to sketch out my next painting. Technically, I don't have to do any more paintings, but I just feel weird kind of like going and either working on my paper or just like, hanging out in the studio. I don't know. I just feel like whatever. My professor wants to have an exhibition in December, and he's like, whenever you want to book your flight, just like do it and we'll work around it. Like, really, everyone should have their paintings done by December anyway. So he's like, we'll just do it like maybe the first week of December, second week, whatever. He's like, don't worry about it. Just book your flight and we'll just do the exhibition before that. And I'm like, okay. He at first wanted everyone to have 10 paintings. I was the only one that had 10 or more paintings. So he lowered it to 8 paintings. I think one person maybe has 7, and then like people have like 5, maybe one person has 1. And like I have, okay, so I have 10 hanging in the classroom. I have 4 more in the classroom that are not hanging that are done. So that's 14. And then at home I have maybe, okay, if I really wanted to stretch it, 5. So what's that? 19, right? Wait, yeah. But really, that probably 17 is like a closer, whatever. I have 17 paintings. I don't want to be judgy or anything, but all right. So there's different factors in this. One, I work in acrylic, so it does dry faster, whatever. But the thing is, like, my classmates have like kind of not made fun of me, but like, and not like been like rude or been like a little bit snide in the way that they've kind of like joked with me about the fact that I only come when we have class. Because I think that's like a cultural thing, maybe a difference. Like, if I don't have class, like a scheduled class, why would I go and hang out in the studio? Like, I have other things to do. Like, I have to study. I have to, shoot the shit. I have to do whatever else I want to do besides, like, I have my apartment here. I think that's a big difference too. Like, they live in dorms. It's probably more comfortable for them to be in the classroom, like in our studio. But for me, like, why would I not be in my house? Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I can wear my pajamas if I want to. I can, like, watch TV. I can just be surrounded by my things rather than sit in like a very like cold, damp, like impersonal, messy, loud studio. Like, I don't have to be there, so why would I be there? And like, they've kind of like joked with me about, or like if someone is late or like doesn't come in for whatever, they're like, oh, they're doing it Cali style. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, is that supposed to be like, am I supposed to feel bad about that? But let me just say, they're there again, not trying to be a shady bitch right now, but because like they're all very dear to me, honestly. Like, I don't, I no ill will, whatever, but like, I'm only there, okay, for the scheduled time, but I have almost 20 paintings. And one of y'all has 1. Like, not for nothing, but like, when I'm there, I work for the hours that I'm there, and I get my stuff done, and I go home and do whatever else I gotta do. Like, a lot of the time that I'm in the studio, everyone's kind of hanging out. And if they're there like 5, 6, 7 days a week, and they don't have like the minimum requirement of how many paintings we're supposed to have, I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Again, no shade, but like, what are you doing? All right, speaking of being a shady bitch, why can't I just want to be like a productive person? you know, like I'm really trying, like that's really my goal is just to like study and do whatever, but my mind is like, no, let's do literally anything else but study. Like why am I like this? Why can't I just like commit to what I gotta do? Like I know I gotta do it. I know what priorities I should have, but I'm just like, you know what? No, I don't want to study. I want to clean my whole house. Like, why am I like this? Why do I procrastinate with other things that like still need to get done so I still feel busy? So then I like try and like, I guess, counteract that guilt. That's why I do it, I guess. I just answered my own question. Good afternoon, guys. Really, the only reason I'm talking to you here and not at my desk where I usually am is just so that for these videos there's like a change of scenery. I just got back from a meeting and then I had to stop at the wet market I just, got tofu, vegetables, and some fruit and stuff for dinner and everything tonight. So the meeting that I just got out of actually was a lunch meeting with my advisor, who I love. She's adorable. She's only a little bit older than me, and she actually was in the program that I'm in now. Like after she graduated, she got a job at the university, being an advisor in the department that she worked for. She's a printmaker, so she knows, the ins and outs and knows the professors and knows their tempers and what's gonna fly and what isn't gonna fly. So it was with her, and then there's an art history professor that I've been working with to kind of help me more appropriately translate my thesis as I go forward, like all the stuff that I have to present and everything I gotta write. She's kind of helping me, they're both helping me go through that. So the meeting was good. It was like, they seem pretty happy with where I am, with what I've written so far. I think I told you guys at the end of this month I have a check-in presentation to talk about, where I am. So we talked about that, about what's going to be required of me, just to make sure we hit all those requirements, what I have to say, what I have to do. Yeah, I'm gonna go home now. I think actually continue to work on it because it's quite early. It's like not even 2 o'clock in the afternoon yet. Good evening, guys. It's Monday night. It is, I think, the 18th. I just got in. Actually, it's quite late. Well, quite late for me to normally be coming home on a Monday. It's 7:30. I hardly had any work to do, and my professor's not there. He's in Italy. So I went in late, and I was only gonna stay for like an hour or two, however long it took me to finish what I'm working on. And like during that hour or two that I was there, my classmate was like, hey, it's my birthday, so we're all gonna go out to eat at like 5. And I'm like, okay. Which was fine. And honestly, I could have gone home and just met them at the restaurant, because the restaurant is right at the bottom of the hill where I live. It's closer than the school, so I could have, gone there and met them, but it's fine. A couple things to catch you up on. First of all, do you like my hat? I got a lot of compliments on it today. Today's the first time I've worn it. I have this cute little, I don't know if you can see that little pin there, but this hat has all these safety pins. I don't know if you can see it. I have no idea what, it's probably not even in the viewfinder, but I was on Taobao and I was looking for just like not hats. Like I don't typically look for hats, but this hat came up. I put a picture of it. It was like really expensive. And I was like, I'm not paying that much for this hat. So I had this black beret hanging like just like a hat already. So I spent like maybe 6 kwai and I bought I think 80 safety pins and I took half an hour and I made that. Yeah, I got a lot of compliments on it today, but it's really itchy, so I'm gonna take it off. And then, oh, I forgot I have my tea steeping. Give me a second. Can you see me in the mirror? So I think last time I updated you guys, like my thesis, you know, writing, not really sticking to the formatting of it. I was just like getting my thoughts out, and I sent it to the professors, so like my advisor, and she liked it. So she said, let me see, narration is more fluent, moving, and at the same time also has a certain like academic feel. She was talking about the formatting, like how I need to format it and stuff, and I said the same thing I said to you. I was like, well, I didn't necessarily pay attention to that right now. I just really wanted to make sure that I got all the important things down. And I thanked her for, you know, for reading it, and I told her that, you know, I was in the studio when she sent that, so when I got back tonight I would kind of like look over how I need to format it and stuff and like really think about that. Yeah, and then she said, like on a more personal note, she goes, what I feel most about you is your strong sense of individuality and independence. And she said, it's rare with Chinese students and I love it. And I said, thanks, you know, like I really appreciate that. And she goes, I hope that this experience in China is like a really precious memory in your life. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I think it will be. You know, someone might look at my paintings and be like, oh, those are cool, and someone might be like, those are awful. And that, like, that's totally fine. You know, that's how it is. Skill, talent, time I put into it doesn't really matter. You know, if you don't like the style or if you really like the style, you know, it like those things are just up to the individual. And it's really nice to hear, you know, that like people like my paintings, and that's usually the feedback that I get, is that people in my class or in my department, they say that they really like my stuff, and they kind of say it with the air of like, I like it because it's different, which doesn't necessarily mean I like it because it's like shows talent or skill, which again is fine, you know, but then they also don't necessarily, because, and it's not their fault, I haven't communicated to them why I'm making some of the things that I'm making. I don't know if I've actually like communicated it like very strictly with you guys either. That's another conversation. You know, to have someone read what I wrote like untranslated, you know, like from my brain in my native language, you know, someone that really like, you know, can understand that and be like, wow, I like this. Like this concept is cool. Like this thing that you're going for, like that you birthed conceptually, is really cool. That's nice. So now that that is done, I mean, like I still have to format the paper, and that's not necessarily anything that I have to do right now. That's like maybe before I hand it in, but like I do have to get some things ready, like a PowerPoint for my presentation. I think it's already next week. I have to do some of that stuff, but otherwise I've just been studying, and I cleaned up my apartment yesterday. I mean, not all of it, like I didn't, you know, but the living room is like pretty nice now, and my bedroom and stuff, and I went through so many of my clothes. I got like one bag for like a, you know, pretty big bag for donation that I'm gonna drop off. Like I have the donation boxes right outside my complex, so I'll drop it off at some point. But then I also have a giant bag of stuff that like I don't need here but I want to keep, so I'm taking it home. I'm like, oh my god, like it's, how am I gonna fit everything in a suitcase? Like it's gonna be too heavy and like whatever. And I weighed it, and it's like exactly the allowed weight of one suitcase. It's like 50 pounds. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. On that note, that actually might do it for this vlog. I feel like I film so much and I pare so much of it down when I'm like editing and putting stuff together. One, to save time, because I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to watch like a really long vlog. I don't know what's gonna make it into this vlog. I don't know if I'm actually gonna end it here. I guess you'll find out. But yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight at least. So I'll see you guys later.